My name is Stephen Baker, and I'm a systems administrator for Underwriters Laboratories' Workplace Health and Safety Division. Workplace Health and Safety is a recent acquisition by Underwriters Laboratories. We are a software development company, and we produce software for workplace safety training. We also do healthcare applications. The biggest value I'm getting out of VMTurbo right now is the complete hands-off management of equalizing the usage in my data center. So VMTurbo distributes all of my VMs equally across all of my hosts, and I don't ever have to think about when a host is in more heavy use if there's going to be constraint on that single host that it lives on, because it rearranges everything for me through vMotion control. Big benefits for me is a lot of time savings. I don't have to care and feed for each individual VM and make sure that the environment's balanced just the right way. Also, I'm able to see which of my applications are taking up more cycles, more compute cycles and RAM usage, so I really can understand my environment a little bit better. VMTurbo's been very stable for us. I can't actually recall an instance where it's crashed on us. We have rebooted it and it comes right back up and continues right where it left off and continues to manage our infrastructure. So we started out with VMTurbo in our development and test data center, managing over 400 virtual machines, and the same instance now manages our entire production data center with our SaaS platform that all of our customers connect to. We didn't have to change anything. The virtual appliance handled it without breaking a sweat. So I had a question that came up and I didn't know how to do something, which was how to get very detailed application load on a particular server. And so I called up to the support, talked to the support gentleman, and he helped me get to the bottom of it. We actually even leveraged their development resources. He got them on the call with me, and so I was able to easily and quickly talk to, tier 3 or even development support directly to me as a customer. It was very easy because it's a virtual appliance. We were able to plug it into our network, connect it to vSphere, and within a few minutes of scanning our environment, it was able to plug in and connect to all of our VMs and manage them for us. So one of the reasons we went with VMTurbo was because we wanted to replace vCops. We weren't getting the level of granularity and alerting out of vCops to really understand our individual VMs, but VMTurbo, I think, could do a little bit better job on reporting. I would love to use them in our monthly metrics meetings to really show in a very nice graphical way how our environment's growing. How many VMs did we grow from one month to the next? And they have some reporting features, but I think that we could have a little bit better for us. We had some specific instances come up where vCops was making recommendations on something like a SQL server, and it said, hey, you only need 12 megabytes of RAM or 100 megabytes of RAM for the SQL server, and even old OSs just can't run with that low amount of memory. So VMTurbo, when we looked at it, we understood that it was going to make better recommendations, and so far that's been the case. We've been able to fully automate the distribution of our VMs amongst our hosts, where vCops and DRS really weren't doing the right job for us. They were creating imbalanced hosts. Some hosts would get overloaded and we would run into big problems. Price was a big one. VMTurbo was very competitively priced, and we also were able to get additional modules that helped us with our specific needs without much more cost. The other one was giving me back time. vCops and DRS, really, I was still having to babysit a lot of the vMotion requirements for my environment. I was having to move things around manually. VMTurbo's promise, and the promise they delivered on, was I haven't vMotioned a machine in 8 months. So that's been a huge time saver for me, and I can trust it to take care of my environment. I actually know. We were looking for a specific need, and I really hadn't seen anybody else out there besides what vCops said they could do to deliver, automatic load balancing of virtual machines, as well as right-sizing VMs automatically. And I don't know anybody else out there doing that same thing. I would give it a 9, and I think that the 1 point is the reporting. We do have reports out of it, but they're not the level of graphical detail I would like. I would say if you have a VMware environment that you are having to spend almost any time load balancing and vMotioning your machines, you're going to need VMTurbo. If you have constrained resources, if you have a limited budget on how many hosts you can buy, you're going to need something like VMTurbo to make sure that the applications that need CPU and RAM are getting it, and the ones that don't are resized so that you can get those resources back. In reviewing it, we really like to get hands-on. We engage a lot of times through the VMware user group. So when we get sponsors out to those meetings, we can talk to them face to face. We also talk to our co-members and find out what they're using and see what kind of results they've had. And we've only heard nothing but good things from VMTurbo.